for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please take your seats. All right, has the board had a chance to review the minutes from, drop that anywhere, 8:20?
Yes.
All right, I'll offer a motion to accept those minutes as presented.
Second.
Pick one. Any questions?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Has the board had a chance to review the minutes from September 3rd?
Yes.
I'll offer a motion to accept those minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Any questions?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. First item on the agenda, 184 Dundenberg LLC, review decision for ARB and ridge preservation for the construction of a single-family dwelling. Said property is located 184 Dundenberg Road in Central Valley. It's known as the Village of Woodbury Tax Act, Section 225, Block 1, Lot 7.1. Anybody here for 184? Anybody here for 184? Next item on the agenda, B&M 152, Brock and Mann, 152 Seven Spring Roads. Review decision to amend the ARB and ridge preservation for modifications of a previously approved single-family dwelling. Said property is located at 152 Seven Springs Road in Highland Mills, and is known as the Village of Woodbury Tax Map, Section 213, Block 1, Lot 13.12. Anybody here for 152? Good evening.
Good evening.
State your name for the agenda, please, for the minutes, please.
St. Green.
Thank you. Natalie?
Sure. So you have a draft decision before you tonight for your consideration, and also I just wanted to bring up a couple of things before the board in review of the last plan submission from the applicant. We've discussed a couple of times this issue on landscaping. You've instructed the applicant to provide additional trees between Millvall Lane and the pool house. That remains to be shown on the new set of plans, but we'll make sure that's done as part of the plan signing process. But what I wanted to talk about was really what the board approved as part of the last decision, and I believe it was 2022 versus what you're considering now. And at the end of our memo, I highlighted, sort of the trees that were supposed to remain, the trees that were supposed to be put in, for you to consider the difference between the applicant's current proposal and what you looked at before. So I just wanted to get some direction from the board on what's preferred in that regard, so that I can make sure that the plans reflect ultimately what you want to see developed at that site.
One second. Just looking for your memo.
So yes, so the light blue is what was existing supposed to remain, and then the yellow and green were proposed. The difference, I think, being evergreen versus deciduous. You see, I think also the orange was proposed at that time. So then if you look at this compared to what's now before you, I think a lot of what's on the plan eastern side is not shown except for along where the retaining walls are, and those look to me to be more like shrubbery. Something that we've asked the applicant to include on their plan is a planting schedule, what's being proposed and how many of each species. So again, I just want the board to see this and the new plan and advise if maybe some of that, eastern side plantings should be back on the plan. And also, I think the applicant should confirm whether or not the blue that was existing to remain previously is still scheduled to remain.
I would like it to remain.
And then what was previously approved should also have been either be planted or confirmed that it has been planted, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, whatever new plans we sign should
Reflect
merge
this and the new.
and the new
Okay.
together.
So as long as we're all clear on that, then we'll look for that as part of the plan signing process. All right?
You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. With that said, does anybody else have any concerns or discussion for this application? No. Okay, so we do have a draft resolution of approval. This was exempted from the water moratorium by exemption number 14. So then we get into the specific conditions. No building permit shall be issued authorized construction of structures inconsistent with the architectural rendering submitted to and approved by the Architecture Review Board as part of this approval, nor shall any certificate of occupancy issue for any structures constructed except in conformance with such renderings. Any deviations from such renderings will require further planning board review. All new windows shall be constructed of or coated with non-reflective material, anti-reflection window film, and will be applied to any new low-E windows installed. Prior to the signing of the renderings, the applicant shall comply with the memorandum of the village engineer dated September 10th, 2025, to the satisfaction of the village engineer. As presented by the applicant, a portion of the basement is to remain unfinished and is not habitable, such that it lacks finishings, has exposed beams, pipes, and concrete walls and floors or similar treatments as determined acceptable by the building inspector. Plumbing rough-ins are not permitted except as shown on the plan approved by the planning board, and other mechanical and plumbing equipment, such as a water heater or otherwise determined by the building inspector to be appropriate for an unfinished space. The mikveh cannot be used with as a shul. The approved mikveh is a private facility. There shall be no public water connection to the pool. A stormwater SWIP with erosion and sediment controls only for development of a single-family home requiring disturbance of 1.3 acres of land shall be submitted to the building department for review and approval to the satisfaction of the building inspector. Prior to the issuance of a building permit for the pool house, proof of the coverage under the general permit shall be provided to the satisfaction of the building inspector prior to the issuance of a building permit for the pool house. The application previously required a road opening permit for driveway off 7 Springs Road. Due to changes to the driveway, the applicant shall conform whether the modifications to the permit are required or not required. Proof of required or non-required modifications to be provided to the satisfaction of the building inspector prior to the building permit. Question with that. This is the one we got from the county, right? The violation notice? Or is that the other one in 7 Springs?
No, that was the other one,
Okay,
yes.
sorry. Never mind. I'll take it back. All plantings shall be maintained in a healthy and vibrant condition in perpetuity, and all plantings which die or become diseased will be removed and replanted with the same plantings by the applicant, subject to the availability, with alternatives to be approved by the village engineer in consultation with the building department, unless otherwise approved by the planning board. This approval is additionally conditioned upon the applicant delivering, prior to the issuance of any building permit, proof that a copy of the final approved plan has been filed with the Orange County Department of Public Works, or is that no proof of filing is required. I'll offer a motion to accept the draft resolution of approval as read.
I'd second that.
Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you. Larry, you're doing 184 and Dundenberg? Okay, let's go back to 184. You don't have anything for 184 right now?
No, thank you.
All right, so we have a draft resolution approval for 184. Hold on. This one is exempt, exemption number 14 from the water moratorium. And then we get into the specific conditions. No building permit shall be issued authorizing construction of structures inconsistent with the architectural renderings submitted to and approved by the Architecture Review Board as part of the approval, nor shall any certificate of occupancy issue for any structures constructed except in conformance with such renderings. Any deviations from such renderings will require further planning board review. All new windows shall be constructed or coated with non-reflective material or anti-reflective window film and will be applied to any new low-E windows installed. All plantings shall be maintained in a healthy and vibrant condition in perpetuity, and all plantings which die or become diseased will be removed and replanted with the same plantings by the applicant, subject to availability, with alternatives to be approved by the village engineer in consultation with the building department, unless otherwise approved by the planning board. Prior to the issuance of the building permit, the applicant shall stake the limits of disturbance in the field for verification by the building inspector or her designee. All trees beyond the limits of disturbance shall be preserved. Any trees intended for preservation within the limits of disturbance shall be marked in the field for verification. As presented by the applicant, the basement is to remain unfinished and is not habitable, such that it lacks finishing, has exposed beams, pipes, and concrete walls and floors or similar treatments as determined acceptable by the building inspector. Plumbing rough-ins are not permitted except for mechanical and building equipment such as water heaters or otherwise determined by the building inspector to be appropriate for an unfinished space. Prior to the issuance of a CO, the applicant shall perform testing witnessed by the building department and submit necessary information supporting the design of the septic system to the satisfaction of the building inspector. Information submitted to the building department should include a plan showing wells on adjacent properties for confirmation the proposed septic system does not encroach on required separation distances. Prior to the signing of the rendering, the applicant shall comply to the memorandum of the village engineer dated August 6, 2025, to the satisfaction of the village engineer. Prior to the signing of the renderings, the applicant shall provide all easements as prescribed and prescribed right-of-ways for review to satisfaction of village council. Prior to issuance of building permit, the applicant shall provide proof of highway work permit and/or temporary construction access permit as required by the Orange County Department of Public Works. Proof shall be submitted to the building department to the satisfaction of the building inspector. Prior to the issuance of a CO, the applicant shall replace the green private sign with a blue placard to the satisfaction of the village street superintendent. The approval is additionally conditioned upon the applicant delivering, prior to the issuance of a building permit, proof that copy of the final approved plans have been filed with the Orange County Department of Public Works, or proof that such filing is not required. I'll offer a motion to accept the draft resolution. Yeah, from the middle, right? I'll offer a motion to accept the draft resolution approval as read. Any questions?
I missed that. Can you say that again?
Nope. All in favor? Aye. You got it in your email. You can read it later. 2 Country Hollow. Larry's starting off with a winning streak tonight.
He's not even saying anything. He's just there.
All right, 2
Status
Country
quo.
Hollow. Again, we have a draft resolution approval as provided by our very handsome counsel.
Thank you. I don't think so.
Again, this application has been exempt from the local law, from the Water Moratorium, Local Law 9, 2024, exemption number 14. I promise there's not as many conditions in this one. Specific conditions: no building permit shall be issued authorizing construction of structures inconsistent with architectural renderings submitted to and approved by the Architecture Review Board as part of approval, nor shall any certificate of occupancy issue for any structure constructed except in conformance with such renderings. Any deviation from such renderings will require further planning board review. All new windows shall be constructed of or coated with non-reflective material, or anti-reflection window film will be applied to any new Lowy windows installed. The applicant shall replace the trees that will be removed to construct a driveway in kind on another location on the lot. Prior to the building permit, the applicant shall coordinate with the building department, where the replacement trees should be located. Prior to the signing of the renderings, the applicant shall comply with the memorandum of the village engineer dated August 27, 2025, to the satisfaction of the village engineer. Prior to the signing of the renderings, the applicant shall provide a copy of the sewer easement shown on the site plan to the village attorney for review. As presented by the applicant, the basement is to remain unfinished and is not habitable such that it lacks finishing and has exposed beams, pipes, and concrete walls and floors or similar treatments as determined acceptable by the building inspector. Plumbing rough-ins are not permitted except for mechanical and plumbing equipment such as water heater or otherwise determined by the building inspector to be appropriate for an unfinished basement. This approval is additionally conditioned upon the applicant deliver, prior to the signing of issuance of a building permit, proof that a copy of final approved plan has been filed with the Orange County Department of Public Works, or no such proof, the filing is required. I'll offer motion to accept that.
I have a
draft
question.
resolution. What's up?
The basement, is that if there's a condition that it cannot be if finished, if let's say 5 years from now they want to finish the basement, can they go for a permit, or they would have to go to the planning board if they don't change anything from the outside? Let's say if they don't add a window, is that condition that you have to go back to the planning board?
I would imagine they'd go back to the plan because it's a modification to the ARB approval.
So that's the condition, I guess. Okay. Then they don't have any plans now, but even if they don't do anything from the outside.
You gotta come back here, basically.
You see our smiling face. We love having you back here, Larry. We just want to keep you coming back. Any other questions? Okay, I'll offer a motion to accept the draft resolution as read.
I'll second it.
Any questions? All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pine Ridge Estates, 6-lot preliminary subdivision approval that was originally approved in 2008 and was granted the most recent extension in March 19, 2025, is set to expire on September 17th tonight. No additional extension requests have been received. I did speak with the building department again this morning. They have received no correspondence from the applicant. They have reached out multiple times, letting them know they were on the agenda and that they had to put an extension request in. based on the fact they have not reached out to us for a extension request, and this application's been around for quite some time, has been granted multiple extensions in the past. I'm going to offer a motion that we do not grant, right, we're not grant an extension request. Or
Right,
just,
correct. You're not going to entertain an extension request. It's just going to expire.
Okay. Well, we need a motion, or should we just let it expire?
You don't, there's nothing, it'll automatically expire. So
Okay,
there's no
so-
motion, there's nothing for you to do. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So there's the off chance that they do show up at the end of the meeting. They'll still be-
Talk quick.
Right, you're just not entertaining any, there's been no request, so you're not entertaining any motion for anything. So it's
Okay,
gonna
good.
expire. It's going to expire on its own.
Cool. One less wording. Woodbury Commons Phase 5, do you want to just, like, 30 seconds, Lino, what happened there?
Sure. There, in order to adopt findings, you have to file and publish the notice of completion with the ENB. It's a two-step process. I understand from the applicant only one step was done. So I guess, again, without putting blame, someone on that side just, I guess, forgot to do something. I'll blame the engineers because everyone's blaming lawyers, so we'll blame the engineers this time. But for the most part, they told us that they had to come back, get that done with the ENB, and come back with the next meeting. So that's it.
So we can't be blamed for this one. This has nothing to do with the planning
Correct.
board did. This was all on them. Just want to make that abundantly clear so we don't get
The board has the most recent copy of the finding statement,
Right.
so
Yeah.
it gives you additional time to consider it if you want.
just look at it if you get a chance. There was some last minute language changes to it. So, if anybody has any comments, the earlier the better, so we can just get them there. All right. That's Commons, 110 Springs Road. Review and discuss materials submitted for a proposed two-lot subdivision. Said property is located at 110 Spring Road in Highland Mills and is known as the Village of Woodbury Tax Map, Section 213, Block 1, Lot 17. Good evening, sir.
Hello, Chris, and the rest of the board. It's good to be back. We're ready to hear the draft final resolution, so if you want to read that out, that would be great.
Gotta
No?
shoot. I give you credit. You shoot very high.
I was, you on a roll there, so I wanted to continue that process.
If you had brought a red balloon with you tonight, you would have had it.
The red balloon, it suffices everything. It transcends all approvals, so I agree. Unfortunately, I don't have the red balloon with me tonight, but we still want to present this project to you. As Natalie mentioned in her summary, it's a project that's very familiar to you. I presented it to you many years ago as a 26-lot subdivision, or 21-lot. It evolved since that time to a 16-lot and then a 4-lot subdivision. Now we're at a point where the owners would like to part ways and divide this 54-lot piece of land into two lots, each owned separately. One would be owned by the current owner, Crystal Springs LLC. The other would be owned by, actually, the owner's right here, by 1107 Springs LLC. The subdivision would include one lot being 20.25 acres, the other 34.22 acres. We did receive Natalie's comments. I like to address them as we go along, so we look forward to your review.
Okay. Questions for the applicant? And just abundantly clear, this is just basically a paper. We're just doing a paper subdivision. We're not doing any development work at all.
We're not proposing any development. The original LLC members are not aligned in their thought about the project.
Okay.
So there is a separation. We're eager to have that separation occur, and that's why we're here before you.
Okay. Natalie?
Yes, so this is a two-lot minor subdivision under your code. There are certain exemptions that the board can grant to the applicant based on it being classified as a minor subdivision. But, for the purpose of how this proceeds, I think the important considerations at this point are that the code requires the board to consider if a tract is subdivided into larger parcels than normal building lots, Such parcels should be arranged so as to allow the opening of future streets and logical further subdivision. So right now, the lot line extends from 7 Springs Road to, I forget what the street is above, sorry, at the top of my head. Serpy Road. So logically, if this larger parcel was not subdivided as such, the road would probably connect between those two portions of Serpy Road and 7 Springs Road. So I guess our comment is that if this lot is subdivided in this way, then the road would conceivably be split down the middle by the two parcels. You know, and that kind of creates, in our mind, and maybe Lino can weigh in on it a little bit, some issues regarding like ownership and maintenance and how that road is built and effectuated essentially. So we'd like the applicant to consider, you know, maybe there's an opportunity to include the road on one lot or the other, the potential road. And also to consider the future development of the lots. The first lot on the left-hand side, I guess that's lot 1, right?
Yeah, proposed lot 1.
The lot width is non-conforming with code, so this does need to be adjusted a little bit to give that, I think it's 150 feet at the bottom there. Also, you may want to consider like a sketch plan for each of the lots to see how the applicants intend to divide each side in the future. Again, just so that you, as the planning board, are comfortable that it's a logical subdivision and that there is a way to develop these lots in an appropriate means. Let's see. The only other thing I guess I would like to raise is that as part of prior reviews of the property, there were several wells that were dug and tested. You know, I think that should be shown on, those should be shown on the plan, and ultimately the disposition, either abandoned according to DOH and AWWA requirements, should be noted on the plat, or, you know, whatever the plan is for them needs to be notated thereon. You know, this is the first the first appearance of the applicant before you, so seeker still needs to ensue, public hearing, etc. We did have some minor comments on the EAF that was provided, but you know, those can be addressed with ease.
Okay.
So I echo what Natalie's saying, but in terms of secret, I would classify this as an unlisted action under secret, given that it is a subdivision. Also, again, you know, usually for something like this, you can also declare yourselves the intent for lead agency this evening if you want to entertain that motion, but that would be an appropriate thing to do this evening. But again, for secret purposes, I would deem this to be an unlisted action.
With Serpy Road and the lot line, does it have to be a lot line change, or could there be an easement that's drawn up that will allow the road to be built if they didn't want to move the lot line?
I think they can, right?
Yeah, they can.
Basically show a paper street on the map.
Correct.
So,
I'm just trying to think what options you would have.
sure.
So we're not proposing any development at this time, and I really would not want to project into the future what could happen or lock this subdivision into a premise that would not exist. You know, I understand the comments. You know, the comments were definitely influenced by previous designs that have been approved by the board. We do not want that to occur with this subdivision. So we would ask the board to consider just the application before you. We have a one lot subdivision into 2. No development is being proposed. I really do not believe that a paper road would need to be shown. Wetlands delineation could change within years. You would probably ask for a certification at that time. So I really wouldn't see that need to be addressed within this subdivision plat. Again, time is kind of the essence. We would rather have the subdivision as soon as possible so that the parties could go their separate ways.
But I think the 144 feet in the bottom of lot 1 is a non-conforming, so we wouldn't be able to approve it as it is.
Correct.
So that has to change anyway.
But that could be, and we agree. We're not debating that. And that's an easy delineation on the plot plan and on the meets and bounds descriptions for both lots. Under other circumstances, the board could approve the project conditioned on our resolving these matters with the municipal engineer and with the municipal attorney. I don't know if we're at that point yet, but it would be great if we could be there. I agree with the attorney where it's an unlisted action, so we could proceed with seeker accordingly. It's not an issue.
Really, the only issue is the connectivity and how the board feels about that.
And
Other than that, it's straightforward. Once
Yeah.
once you move the 7 feet,
and again,
is it even 7
we
feet?
there's no
Not even 6 feet and 45 inches or whatever.
exactly.
No, I was
And-
mistaken. It's 170 feet, 175 feet that's required, not 150. I apologize.
Okay,
I
so
did
he's got to move it
misspeak.
30.
Yes.
It's a
little-
31-foot
Yeah.
difference, which
I
we'll
know,
see.
sorry.
It's not an issue. And again, each of these lots can be developed independent. There's nothing mandating connectivity to Serpy Road. In the zoning code, the lots could be whatever, one road going into a commercial building or to a subdivision within itself. We're not mandating that a connectivity to Serpy Road is required.
No, I know it's not a mandatory thing. It's a thing that this board has to think about in potential, what the land could potentially come.
Sure.
And how it would tie into the rest of the neighborhood up there, right?
I think it would be better to have it conform from the outset.
It can conform either way, right? What the code is, or the zoning code is saying, is that we have to consider it. It's not saying we have to make him put it in, or the applicant put the connectivity in. We have to sit and think about down the road, if they come in to either re-subdivide or develop the land, how it would tie into the existing neighborhood. I just want to pull
Right,
up.
the code, it says, if a tract is subdivided into larger parcels than normal building lots, such parcels shall be arranged so as to allow the opening of future streets and logical further re-subdivision. So that's like the guideline for this.
Like, would that count, just a question, like if you roll down the top, oh, never mind. That one piece of property on the right could easily be a cul-de-sac, would that work?
Oh, sorry, Chris. Right, so this could be a cul-de-sac, right? That's small enough.
That's what I'm saying, you could have a cul-de-sac on one, a road on the other, and you solve the problem.
Yeah, as long as I guess the top shifts away from the center of Serpy.
Yeah, I'm just asking that.
Yeah.
That you could do cul-de-sac one, road on the other, and you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Sure.
So you're saying, Natalie, is pull this lot line down
Yeah,
and
one-
then
yeah.
shift it over this way?
One or
kinda.
the other, yeah.
Is that a
Or
poss-
show that paper street that, down the middle.
You get where we're going? Is right now your subdivision goes right in the middle of Serpy.
I know,
I mean, what are we
it
talking?
wasn't my,
What are we talking?
wouldn't
3
be my
feet?
first choice, but what was that?
We're talking 3 feet. You got to move.
12 feet.
I would probably.
It gets you out of the predicament.
Exactly. It would negate the whole idea of anything associated with a previous design.
So it sounds like you're willing to move your lines a little bit.
We're willing and able.
I'm good with that.
Okay. Is the board okay with that? If the
We will move the line so it's not contingent on an intersection with Serpy Road. So we'll either move it to the south or to the north. And we'll move the line on Seven Springs so that it meets the zoning code.
Yeah, David, what my suggestion would be is that the last application before the board went to the county, they approved where that cut could be on Seven Springs Road. You should take that road and put it on one lot or the other. And then that way, the road could be developed on one lot connecting Seven Springs to Serpy, and the other parcel is not impacted by that.
Yeah, if you move
But neither LLC is interested in that
Having the road connect, well, for
at this moment in time. Right now, as I'm before you, that is not a consideration.
if you moved south
So if you take this here, right, and go this way with it,
and you come down with it, because he's gonna take another 30 feet going of the other guy's property anyway. So if he moves this one down a few feet, it'll almost even out the initial split anyway.
It's exactly, because on the bottom, we have to move that lot line.
my dimensions are off. I'm not drawing to scale.
On Seven Springs, as Chris mentioned, Christopher, as opposed to Chris, right? We need to move that line over 31 feet, 32 feet to be safe.
Right.
And then, as you mentioned, if we move that line down, the two would balance out, and the lot areas would probably remain the same or close. And then that has no influence, no connectivity to Serpy Road, and it's not tainted at all by those previous designs. So our subdivision would remain independent of what happened in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I think because the board and myself know a lot of the intricacies with this lot, like there's a wetland in the lower right-hand corner.
Yeah.
That's large. So again, when you subdivide these lots, the board wants to know that they can be logically built out in the future. And again, also that, you know, the arrangement is such that there could be connectivity of roads. So keep those, I think you gotta keep those two things in mind. And then we'll look at this again. If the board would like to see those sketch plans of, you know, again, understanding that it's not the applicant's intent to proceed with them at this time, or maybe never in the future, to see like, okay, a cul-de-sac would fit appropriately on this lot, the road connects between the other ones, on the other one, the wetlands are avoided, there's a potential to develop these lots logically, then I think that's helpful, but it's up to the board.
Well, I always agree with you saying, Natalie. I said it, I mean, if he goes forth and moves like where we have the suggested yellow line, and for some reason one of the lots becomes undevelopable, for whatever reason, that's on them. The board's not taking, the board isn't doing a taking.
Legally, well, if you're gonna create the lots, you're basically saying it's a developable lot.
Yeah.
If you're gonna create the subdivision, you're saying it's a developable lot.
Well, so I want to make sure if we go forward, it's not gonna come back to us saying that we were okay with it, and then lot 2, the lot on the right, is no longer developable.
Right, and that's why I think you want to consider these with a little bit more detail to see conceptually that these are developable in the future. You know, and
Well-
we're not asking the applicant to go approve water and sewer.
No.
These are large lots, it's just showing, you know, lines on the plan, the constraining features that are the wetlands, and moving forward in that direction.
Yeah, if you
Well,
were subdividing it for
well,
open
let's-
space,
let-
it's gonna be
let's,
that's different. But
Right.
if you're gonna subdivide as a regular subdivision, conventional subdivision, this board is basically, not basically, you're stating by law that it's a developable lot. So, you know,
Well,
I'm just-
well, wait, let's put it in context here. I could put one house on each lot, and that's considered developable.
correct.
So we don't need to show a connectivity. We don't need to show a paper road. We actually don't even need to show the wetlands. I could put one house on lot 1, one house on lot 2. It's considered developable. So, you know, let's put it back into the context, and also in line with the intent of the new owner. It does not need to be developed into a multifamily cul-de-sac with duplexes or single-family homes or whatever. Developable means one house on each lot,
So-
period.
How about if we just have the applicant show that it could meet the conformity for a single-family dwelling on each property, and then,
The zoning laws. Yeah. You're looking to, is that, is the applicant looking to do single-family homes on these lots? Is that what the?
No, not to put too fine a point on it, the applicant's looking to move in his own direction. He wants out. You know, he wants to, you know, terminate this LLC and move on to a new LLC. We want a new SBL number. That's what we're looking for.
Which, you know, is their prerogative certainly, but if they want to develop it in the future, they'll want to know that, you know, maybe an idea, if they have any, you know, that it can be done. So it just behooves
What-
the applicant and the board, really.
One house, that will satisfy the new owner.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, again, I'm satisfied as long as you can build something that is compliant with zoning, and you're creating the lots that are compliant in terms of the size of the lot. I'm okay with that from a legal standpoint.
Well, that's why listen, I understand that it could potentially box them into a corner down the road, but I'm not worried about it. I'm making sure we're doing what the board is legally required to do.
Right. I mean, I like the idea of cleaning up that, I mean, right now the potential lot goes right in the middle of that road. I mean, I want to clean it up because obviously if you're going to approve it as a subdivision, you want to make it as clean as possible.
Right.
So,
Well, Lena, what were you pointing at? It wasn't on the screen.
The Survey Road.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
My mic
We
did go
talked about
on.
it earlier. Yeah, just clean
Sure.
it up. I mean,
Sure.
I hear your point. I mean, to me, like I said, if you can show that these are two lots that can be, created in this zone, they meet the setback requirements, frontage for a subdivision, and you can put a single-family home there, then to me, it's a developable lot. Now, if somebody wants to come in and do something different, then they got to come back here and go through this process all over again. But that's the intent right now, the applicant is stating, and so be it.
That's what I'm just trying to meet there.
So we're okay with that. We would satisfy that requirement without question.
You'll sharpen your mouse?
I have a pointer, too. And a red balloon.
I'll have to tell you about the red balloon story afterwards.
Will do.
It's been an ongoing joke at this point.
Usually I come in with, they claim I always have the most complicated projects. Here I come in with a simple one, and you're making it complicated, Natalie. Come on. Come on, I wanted it something simple.
Any other questions or concerns for this? What we just talked about? Okay. All right, so I'll offer a motion to type this as an unlisted action under
Yes.
secret.
Second that.
Questions? All in favor? Aye. I'll offer a motion to declare our intent to serve as lead agency.
Second that.
Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Public hearing, right?
Now, that's mandatory
Yes.
for the subdivision?
Subdivision it is.
We can't, okay.
I'll offer a motion to schedule a public hearing for October 15th, which is our next meeting. Questions? All in favor? Aye. And I'll offer a motion, again, this is going to be on you getting plans to us, to have council draft a draft resolution of approval as well. Any questions?
We have no problem with
All in
that.
favor? Aye. But again, it's what you give us, it's what you're going to give back to us, right? If you come back to us and it's not approvable, then we're not going to.
We will get it back to you. We'll make sure it complies with the zoning code. And so the public hearing's October 15th?
Yeah.
Correct.
Submission date, October 1st?
Whatever, 14 days before that, the 2 Fridays before that. Sorry, I don't have my calendar open. It is,
10-1, it's good.
what's
So
that?
Natalie, you wanted to go elsewhere too, right?
Yeah, they can indicate the notes on the plan.
We-
October 3rd would be submission date.
Submission date, yeah. And just for the board's comfortability level, we agree with Natalie. All the notes that she's requesting to be placed on the plat will do so.
Okay. We'll see you then.
Have a great evening, everyone.
too, sir.
Thank you.
Who's second to what? Who's second lead agency? You, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike did.
Like I did.
You think I paid attention? That's what we have you for. I just keep things moving.
Come on, Claude. It's a long day, I know.
All right. All mine. Orange, continue review and discussion of revised plans and materials for ridge preservation and ARB for proposed single-family dwelling located on Skyline Drive in Highland Mills, as known as the Village of Woodbury Tax Map, Section 208, Block 1, Lot 3.31 and 21. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How's everybody?
Good. Yourself?
I'm good, thank you. So, Mike sent me here again. And yes, the ARB is what we're after. There were also some comments from Natalie from the last meeting. And Mike had addressed them in an email to Natalie, so I'm not sure if she had a chance to see them.
I know it came in, but I didn't get to look at them in any detail. I think where we left off at the last meeting was that the board wanted more of a quorum to discuss the ARB.
Correct.
And provide some direction to the applicant. So we
Yes.
didn't prepare a memo. This also, again, requires referral to the Orange County Sewer District. And I owe Steve some information on that so that the applicant can complete that. So that's where we are.
Yep. They actually wanted you here, Evan. I just got to pull up the right plans.
Chris also raised the issue of blasting to get water line and sewer line in? Has that been investigated?
I'm sorry, the which?
If you need to blast to.
As far as I know, they don't, but that's, you know,
Is it
Mike would have to look into that, but I don't see a reason to blast. I think, I don't know if he's done deep test pits up in there or not.
Yes, so,
We've talked about it a couple
I
times.
think it was a question, and it was going to be modified, the paperwork, to include blasting.
yes, I think the board, you have discussed the conditions of your action that you would include regarding blasting, and then as far as the water and sewer services are concerned, the applicant has to work with the water and sewer department on that. For the purposes of ARB, we've raised them and will include appropriate conditions of the action that will make sure that everybody looks at that closely, but it's not your site plan review, so.
Right, we're just doing ARB review right now.
Right, exactly.
Okay. The house is up.
The house is up.
So this is it in the
Oh,
sewer.
yeah, that. Yes, I remember.
It's the one that looks in the person's backyard.
Yes. So who wants to take a stab at feedback for this one?
Well, this rendition isn't really complete because there are a lot of existing trees along the, right where your arrow is.
Here?
Along the driveway. See where the tree is with the stone wall behind it? There are more trees in that whole line,
So there's more trees screening the front of the house or the side of the house?
screening the front.
Well, yeah, it would be, there are more trees, but they got to do their clearing as well, so.
Won't be more
They can show more trees, but
trees. So there won't be more trees.
Yeah, I don't like when trees disappear.
it happens.
Right.
We can add trees back in, which probably should have new growth planted anyways.
I'm trying to look, do we have, did we have him do a tree marking of what was going to be removed?
I myself did not locate trees.
You
for
didn't
him.
locate trees?
No.
We talked about it, marking trees that had to be removed, even for the equipment to come in and work around building a new foundation.
Was that this application? I can't remember.
And
I know that there should be limits of disturbance / limits of clearing on one of the site plans. And I think that I thought that this application, I thought they superimposed that on an aerial Google Earth image for you to consider, like what trees would remain after.
It-
I just don't recall at this moment. I'm not seeing it so far either.
No, and this is the newest one.
I mean, I can have Mike put the limits of disturbance on the plan. I don't think that would be too much to ask.
What about the overall look and feel of the home in the neighborhood itself? I know that was a concern I thought you brought up, Mike, last time.
that's what I wanted to get that.
I think last time it was that tan colored with the hip roof, right? And dormers and things like that. I'm trying to see. That was from like 2023. I'm just trying to understand the change and the reason for the change.
For the color change?
Yeah. The whole massing change.
It could be just colors of the day, you know. A lot of the grays, tones and stuff are used more now than the browns are, so.
Well, the massing changed too. Like it had 3 gable ends, and now it has 1 and a bay window. It had 2 bay windows previously, so
mm.
I'm just trying to understand what was driving that.
What else do we not?
It's a lovely looking house, but it doesn't look like anything else at all.
So the dissimilarity from the surrounding structures. So they did give. So you have a, I don't know what you call that, a ranch.
That one's closed.
So those are the comparables. Comparables. There you go. You heard what I meant. So what would we like the applicant to do with the design of the home?
There's another point where in the application it says that it will work with the neighbor for easement and driveway.
Well, the
Because
neighbor's
driveway
driveway is in the,
part of the neighbor's.
is in the roadway, so, you know, she's built in the roadway. So as far as working with her, the driveway would have to cut through there. I mean, last time I was there, she had her car parked in the road. So I'm not sure where you're looking for.
Well, we did receive a letter from the neighbor where she was contesting.
Oh, yeah, I remember the letter.
Right,
But-
but that makes me think, I'm not speaking for her, but make me think that she's not really amenable to popping up.
Well, she doesn't want the driveway to go through the road. That's what she was after, but that doesn't have anything to do with the house.
Yeah,
itself.
right now we're doing ARB. We're not doing site plan.
Okay.
Is this in ridge preservation?
It is.
Yes.
I wish the Pacific blue was a color that's our ridge preservation colors.
So earth tone, natural colors that blend into the surrounding tree cover.
Well, I would say slate gray or slate blue doesn't really surround into the natural.
Yeah, but the house in front of it's eggshell blue. So, or robin's blue.
Right, but the house in front of it probably wasn't built when Ridge Pres was in existence.
True.
I'm willing to bet you dinner on that one.
I'd be probably buying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's amenable to the color change, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Does that apply to white as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
White would be prohibited.
Yes.
Yep.
Even in the trims and things like that?
Yeah, you can go with toned trims, blend it in.
I think the board has discretion to opine on that. I think you've seen, owing to prior development by others, or if neighbors have that, you've sometimes thought that was acceptable, but it's, your review and your opinion really at this point. Chris, I did want to tell you on sheet 11 of 15 of Mike Morgante's plans, so it's not the ARB package, mine's called Skyline Drive OP6.
Okay.
They do show the limits of disturbance on an ortho imagery, so you could see, where the trees really would be taken out to develop the lot the way they're proposing.
Give me a second. I should have it. Can you send it to me, Natalie?
Yep.
Stand by while it matriculates through the internet. Skyline OP4. Oh, wait, hold on. 617?
Are you asking me about the date? Potentially. Page 11?
There we go.
Okay, yeah. I didn't even get to send it yet, so.
I beat you to it.
Sorry. So the limits of disturbance, if you zoom in a little bit, it's like a scissored line, if you will. It's jagged.
This
It-
year?
Yeah, that is it. Yep. So there's like a panhandle there to the right, which I think has to do with the swale and any modifications that they were going to make sure that that functioned properly. And you can see it kind of, the limits of disturbance really run along the property line to the north there. So they are proposing, as long as the limits of disturbance are synonymous with the limits of clearing here, which I think that is the intent, then
Yes.
that rendering that they provided you shows really how I think that home will be visible behind the property.
So, yeah, so it's gonna be fairly visible from that other home. Okay, hold on. Let's finish with the look, color, and feel of the house. Let's finish that part up first and give the applicant some direction.
Yeah, I think the color changes that we discussed would make it blend with or fit more of the ridge preservation.
Okay. So more earth tones, less white. Overall design?
Yeah, I think
Bless
it
you.
matches everything else around there. Simple gable roof.
So it changed the design?
No, I'm sorry. It does match everything
Okay.
else around there.
You just want to change the colors.
Yeah.
Change the color.
Yeah.
Because even the colors, some of the houses are color to.
Okay. So just have the applicant change to more earth tone colors, but the
Right.
design is okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's that part. And then I'm gonna go with you're looking for more supplemental plantings in the front to screen it? Is that what we're looking for?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, I think so.
Or retain some of the trees that are there.
They would probably die anyways, because by the time you cut the roots, you'd have to replant a good piece of them. When you're cutting the driveway in on the right, I mean, I'm sure you could leave some of them to the left.
Yeah, maybe take a look at your grading and see
Yeah.
if you can tighten it up a little bit but
So then we're looking,
there's a good direction.
over here would be more, replace some plantings on this side here where it's getting all ripped up. Okay,
Yeah, take a look at it.
okay. Trees and shrubs, combination of the two, what do we, let's be,
Combination.
combination?
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, there was just lots of here and
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for the applicant? Okay. All right. Anything from you, Lena? All right, so I think you have your marching orders, right? Change
I'm
the
good.
colors,
Yeah.
try to tighten up your grading
Find some
to what you can
trees.
save, and then additional screening and stuff in the front.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Yep,
So we'll see you when with the revision.
true.
Thank you.
I'll be back.
Yes. We look forward to it.
Excellent.
Have a good night, sir.
Nope, I got the next one.
Oh, the next one's you?
Yep, next one's me.
Okay, review and discuss materials for site plan, special permit, ARB, and ridge preservation for a shul with mikvah. Said property is located at 24 Southfields Falls in Central Valley and is known as the Village of Woodbury Tax Map, Section 225, Block 1, Lot 76. Welcome back.
Well, thank you.
This one hasn't been here for a while, so just a quick overview on this one, please.
So I was just handed this today, so pre-existing house. I think it's about 2,400 square foot house. Mike's got 2 parking areas, one in the front of the house and one coming in off the right side of it. About 9 parking spaces, 10 parking spaces total. And they just want to convert it to a shul.
Questions for the applicant? Natalie?
Sure.
You have a question, Lauren?
So I, oh,
Did I just pull up the wrong shul? No, I pulled up the
no,
right
you're
one.
right. You're good.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
Yes, yeah, Jamila Shore. So I think, unless Larry, did you want to say anything, or do you want me to just go into it? Okay. There are several nonconformities associated with this conversion from a single-family home to a shul. The applicant has submitted a narrative related to their substantial burden under RLUIPA, which will defer to Lino and his advice to you on that. We've included several conditions of your potential action. There are some recommendations for minor changes to the materials that have been submitted, really for the purposes of providing clarity. The applicant has revised their landscaping plan to reduce the number of plantings proposed. The board should consider whether or not that's satisfactory. Regarding lighting, the applicant's showing wall pack fixtures on the existing rendering, so we assume that the condition is not changing from the existing to proposed. However, you should discuss whether or not a lighting plan would be necessary in this instance, or whether or not maybe conditions of your action, again, limiting light foot candles at property lines to 0.1, which is your typical practice, may be appropriate also. It's just something I think the board should weigh in on. Our notes indicate a decision on ARB and ridge preservation remain. Public hearing is required and should be scheduled at the appropriate time. The board may want to consider whether an ESO referral is necessary. You did receive advisory comments from the county, which we note in our memo and list our opinion. They also raised the issue on lighting, which is another reason why I want to raise it for the board. And then as far as seeker, you previously declared the action unlisted and your intent to be lead agency on August 21st. We believe that you may assume lead agency status and consider the part 2 and 3 EAF that Kelly previously circulated, and I think Lino also has a copy of those. So we'll just kind of hand that over to Lino also. All right? That's all I have.
Thank you. Anything you want to chime in on, Lino, or?
Yeah, just, I mean, we did get a letter on the substantial burden on some of the elements, I guess, from, I guess, the letter dated July 11th, Stephen Barshaw. I think you guys already, this letter reviewed already?
No.
No, we didn't review it. We got it, but we didn't go through it.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'd like to just go through it at some point this evening, just to address some of the comments in there as well. When ready.
Board? This is existing already, right, Larry?
Yes.
That's good.
That's an actual picture.
Hmm?
I was looking very good rendering.
Yeah, it was best rendering you've done all these years, Larry. You really, stepped up your game here. You went and built it, then took a picture and sent it to us.
If a little snow is gonna make the difference, I'll do it all the time.
Let's not get carried away. All right. So what does the board think?
Yeah, I think lighting is important to consider, whether it be a lighting plan or a condition.
It is bright at night, Larry. I drove through
Yeah.
at night. It's you can't miss it. And I understand the need for lighting because of the walking and all that, but maybe we can.
Are the lights hooded or no?
No,
So they just need to be hooded.
I could play stickball in the street
That's not good.
and be good with it. So I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, it is gonna be different, the lighting, because the parking requires a certain amount of lighting.
right.
And typically a place like a shul where it's not your house, you don't know exactly where it's typically lit a little bit more. But I guess we'll follow the regulations.
Yeah.
Which is .01.
Point
It shouldn't
one.
bleed into the next.
At the
Correct, at the
property
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 lines,
line.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the board usually gives some discretion with spillage into the street. It's
As well.
really, neighboring properties and residential, the neighbors next to them, they would want to see the 0.1.
Yeah, and
How
then
about the-
maybe at night you'd be willing to, after midnight or after services would typically be over, you can dim down to security
Yeah.
lighting and stuff like that as well.
And what is the required for not at the property line, within the property?
I'm sorry, what is that?
What is the requirement within the property, not at the property line?
No, so the board really only considers how it's spilling onto adjacent properties, so 0.1 at the property line.
Okay,
And no
use,
more.
I guess, industry standards for
Correct.
property itself.
Yeah, IPA, dark sky, friendly lighting, Green Globe's criteria, shielding,
Correct.
those should be the standards for your light fixtures.
I mean, theoretically, you could make it as bright as a stadium in the middle of the property. It just has to be that .1 candle watt when it gets to the edge. So however you make that work.
That's tough.
But don't.
What?
I said, but don't.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Now, hold on, landscaping. Is it, so I gotta ask you, because the other shul in the neighborhood, Larry, I went by this morning, everybody's parked everywhere.
It's in the bottom of the hill.
Hmm?
It's at the bottom of the hill.
Yes. I went by this morning, and, I mean, it's great that there's a great congregation, but the parking lot was full, and there had to be 10 cars on,
The park lot was full?
yes. Well, there was a dumpster taking up 2 of the spots, and then there was a bunch of other cars in the lot, and you had about 10 cars on either side of it, so how do we know, I mean, that one, I know they were able to get another piece of property down there, and they put a parking lot there, and it's kind of away from all the houses down there, right? It's at the end of the street, that shul.
Yeah.
This one's kind of,
It's interesting. Usually I do see cars parked, but it always bothers me that the park lot is empty and people park.
oh, this was everything, this
But
was everything today.
This type of was full. This is basically, yeah.
Sorry, I just want to say about this comment. This shul is only for 55 and older,
This shul,
this shul.
okay.
So young people can't walk a block without the car. 55 and older, nobody comes to shul with a car.
Oh, no?
No,
Okay.
they all, it's all for the neighborhood.
Could we please have your name for the record?
What is it?
Your name.
Your name?
Oh, Joseph Templar.
Okay.
I'm
So
the
that's a, was that, I didn't know if that was in the narrative. I don't remember that it's only, I know it's in the 55 and older area. I didn't realize.
strictly for 55 and older.
Okay.
I mean, it's a much smaller one. It's more localized. As you said, it is in that community. It's designed for them. It's a more localized thing, whereas the other one, which is more like an area, more like the area. I mean, you can see the way it's built. That one is multi-story. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
more house-looking, and it is going to be not even close to that type of use or that type of. I live in the area. I've never been.
Okay.
Yeah, but
But did I see your car, did you park in the street or the driveway at the other
but
shul?
the other one, I've been so many times. So yeah, it's that type of. It's a big difference.
Okay. I guess, I mean, that would be just that's my main concern. Just, I see how the other one is used. I was just worried that we're going to have the same conditions here as well. Okay. Other feedback, concerns? Where, is this going to be a dumpster here, or are you guys going to just do the cans?
They're showing cans on the
We're going to
plan.
do cans. It's not a big operation type of show.
Okay.
It looks like everything else there. I mean, other than the lighting, I have no other comment.
Yeah, and there's going to be additional landscaping that gets put in, right? Because these are all new, right, Larry?
Yes. The trees, there are some existing. The shrubs is new. It is now 1, 2, 3. I believe there's on the other side also one. On the other side of the park.
On this side over here?
No.
Over here?
Lining the perimeter of the road. I believe there's 4 trees on it.
Yeah, there's 4.
Yeah.
I think there were a few trees taken out since their last submission. I forget what the number was reduced by. Do you know off the top of your
I
head?
think part of the submission, I have an actual picture. This has the parking added to it. Maybe, maybe not.
Hold on, I have,
Or no, I just saw it physically. No, it's not part of the submission. It looks like a house.
it's not, right?
So we're proposing to have, let's see,
Which one do you want up, Larry?
yeah, the site plan, I guess. There's no.
It's all shrubs.
So this is new, right?
Yeah,
The 4 in between.
the
Right.
4 in between is.
And that would be, that's this corner over here?
Yeah.
And nothing in between here, right? The two? Yeah, so nothing,
Yeah, no. It's not technically our, it's not technically,
It's in the road.
It's in the road, yeah. I mean, we can add that, but it's not gonna be part of this application's property.
That's the HOAs or another property?
Yeah, HOA.
That's the HOAs? Okay, this spot here. And yeah,
I don't have a problem with this one.
Yeah, no.
so just soften up the lighting and,
And just
Other than have fun.
curiosity, there's an ADA spot listed on the parking.
Yep.
Is this ADA accessible?
Yes, there's going to be a ramp. There's proposed a ramp to be ADA accessible. And obviously, if it gets approved, we're going to go and submit plans to the building department showing the rest of the accessibility, which are showing the site accessibility. You see there's a ramp.
yeah, it's a switchback ramp, right?
Yeah. So right off the spot, there's going to be a ramp going up.
You have enough room there, Larry, to come from this spot to,
No, that's not a spot. That's the
that's the spot right
empty
there with the
space.
handicap
That's the
sign.
spot, and
Next
then
to it is
the
like
next
the
to it is just
striped
an
space.
Stripes.
Yeah.
That's the
The
crosshatch.
loading.
Yeah.
Crosshatch, okay. Ooh, almost 10%. I'm coming there in the winter. We'll have a good time. Just trying to. So the crosshatch would be there, okay. Anything you can do here to, between the, this, because this is a private dwelling, right? Just make that less stark and then,
The ramp?
no, is there any, you gonna put a fence, you gonna put anything there? Or is your neighbor gonna be looking at a concrete ramp with the railing?
I think is it going to be concrete? I believe it's mostly.
Or wood,
no,
metal,
wood.
some sort of material?
As of now, I believe we're going to have to lower a little bit the grade over there because it's
Here.
too steep. So it's actually going to, it's not going to be built up. It's actually going to be
So you're gonna cut it in?
kind of in, maybe only the last. As of now, the grade over there is about 2 feet or 3 feet below the first floor. So we actually have to cut the grade a little bit.
Okay. And what do you do, a little retaining wall or something there, like a couple blocks or
It
something?
looks like it was built up in the first place, so it just.
Alright.
Most of the ramp is just going to be on grade.
Okay. Nothing else from anybody else?
No. Looks like I
You
have-
know,
Yeah, just fine. I'm good.
Just a quick question, because I mean, when I looked at this, it didn't say that it was for 55 and older in terms, so that should probably be specified. And then the other thing too I had, I guess the previous speakers said that because it's 55 and older, you're gonna have more people driving to it than the other one that was approved. So my only question is on the parking, because you're going from, I guess 14 was what's allowed to 9.
Right.
That's the only issue I had. You know, if there's anything that can be done with parking. I mean, because again, the speaker said you're having more drivers on this one because they're all 55 and older.
No, so basically he was kidding that today's generation doesn't walk a block.
Yeah.
But the older people
the
basically.
older generation walks to shore,
They-
the younger
they're
generation's
actually used to
lazy and
walking.
drives.
Okay,
I think
that's-
what Mr.
is
Templer
that-
was trying to get at.
Okay, so if that's what was being tried to convey, then fine. But that's what I thought I heard. I drive everywhere, so there you go.
All right, so we could scheduling a public hearing?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll offer a motion to schedule a public hearing for October 15th for this application.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
I'd probably do a draft resolution, right?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, so I'll offer a motion to have council draft a draft resolution of approval as well.
I'll second that.
Questions? All in favor? Aye. Just the lighting is what you got to get to us before the public hearing.
Yep, we'll have Mike take care of it.
And what else?
Does the board want to conclude seeker by reviewing the part 2 and 3 EAF that Kelly had circulated previously?
I can do it we'll do it the night of the, we'll do it the night of the public hearing and just do everything at
I
once.
like to look at it too, as
Sure.
well, yeah. So.
And then the waivers will need to be decided at the next meeting.
I think what we can do the waivers, finish secra, and then everything at the public hearing. We'll just button everything up that one night if we can. All right?
I'll draft on that in that regard, so.
All right, cool. Thank you, sir. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, sir. All right. Woodbury Complex C Community Center. Review materials for an amended site plan and phasing approval for the community center in Woodbury Villas. Said property is located at 4 Central Valley Line in Central Valley and is known as the Village of Woodbury Tax Map, Section 254, Block 4, Lot 2. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. James Martinez, Engineering and Surveying Properties. Back before you again for this amended site plan. We received Natalie's review memo, just briefly going over it. Zoning coverage, we could update the coverage calcs for this revised layout with the expanded EDA parking down at the bottom. Water, I see that no exception was taken for eliminating the water main and hydrant on Road A. Drainage, the downstream analysis, I believe. I've completed that. We could submit that with the next submission. Other updates, landscaping and retaining wall drawings, we can get you updated drawings of those. And I know jumping to the end, as far as the building permits, the arms for the security gate are in. We're just waiting on the access panels, but those are in and up. But if there's anything else that the board would like to discuss or anything that would like to be expanded upon, we can talk about it.
Yes, I saw them feverishly working on the security gates this afternoon. Steve?
Stephen Barshoff here for the applicant. The security gate has been installed. I just saw pictures of it. If you'd like, Basheva has pictures. We can show you. The gate is up, and it's working. So that part of it is done.
That's the easy part. You missed the big part.
Which is the big part?
The building is still...
Well, oh yeah, no. The building is being worked on, but there are reasons why, I mean, the technical reasons can be explained why it has been moving slower because of the approvals that are there before you. But the building is still being worked on. This approval needs to be issued so that the building and the whole process can move forward. I believe that they're at the place of enclosing sheetrock now. Is that where things are at? So all of the infrastructure is in for the building, electrical is in, plumbing is in. They're ready to close up the walls, so a lot of work has been done.
I have a different story from the building inspector.
Okay, when was he out there?
I spoke to him this morning, and he says they don't have any inspections instead scheduled, and they still haven't done insulation.
Well, they're right, they haven't done insulation, that's right. So in other words, my understanding is that, and I don't know what about scheduling inspections, but my understanding is that you have everything inspected that's inside the wall before you put up insulation and before you put up sheetrock.
Right, but he told me the only inspection they have done to this date is still the framing. There's been no mechanical, plumbing, electrical, nothing.
Okay, I don't know what the status of getting that is, but I was told that the work is done. So, but this has to be set for public hearing, does it not?
I believe so, right?
Right, so.
Well, the board has the ability
We can waive
to
it.
waive it if the plan is.
Well, that would be great. So I leave that up to you. What I was trying to say is we'll certainly, if this is set for public hearing, by the time we get back on a public hearing, we'll make sure that this is scheduled for inspection. The holidays in between may create a few little bumps in the road, but as far as I know, it's ready to be inspected.
Public hearing, board? The plans have not changed substantially since the initial design. Would you agree, Natalie?
Yes.
Right. The one thing, Chris, that does need to be factored into this before you make a decision about public hearing is, I've been asked to bring back to the board's attention the tie-in between being able to get building permits and the completion of the building. The bond was just literally last week. The bond for this entire part of it was re-upped, if you will, for the next period of time. No reduction in the bond amount. So even though there's been substantial construction, the bond amount is still full and the same. There is complete security for the village that this gets taken care of. There's real significant hardship for Mr. Templer, for the applicant, to not be able to move forward building at all. So I'm here to say to you, can we please work together on this? Because the building is moving forward, there's no doubt about it, and it's really over-secured in terms of the full bond, even though there's been substantial work that's been done. So I'm here to make sure that the board please consider the idea of allowing building permits to be issued so that the cash flow can be there to fund the rest of what needs to be done. It's very difficult for the applicant to have no cash flow coming in from being able to put buildings up and sell, and then have to undertake all of this work at the same time.
So there's a chunk of 25 building permits that are tied to substantial completion of this building. So they would get another 25 permits when this building is substantially complete. So I guess what Mr. Bershaw is asking this board, if that was something that was done back in COVID. That goes back to COVID.
Yes, it goes
times.
back quite a few years. And look, if I remember correctly, because I'm not trying to varnish the truth, I was here. I remember the frustration, not by necessarily all of these board members, but I think some of the prior board members as well, who said, what's going on here? This thing hasn't been done. The project has been going on for so long, and we heard that. And so the work has been done. There's certainly going to be completed. There's no doubt about it. It's just a question of being able to let the property owner be able to make sure that that cash flow is there to get this thing finished without any delay because of not having enough funds. Sure.
If I may correct, it's not 25, we can get no permits at all in phase 7 until this entire rec house and everything is done.
I thought we tied a number to that.
No, it was the entire
It's,
phase 7.
yes, Mr. Templer is right. One of the conditions is that no building permits may be issued in phase 7 until all of these things are complete, but then there were certain milestones tied to building permits in phase 1. So, for instance, one of those milestones is substantial completion, that is it be occupiable of the community center, active adult community center, which I think the pool was outstanding, or
Yeah, but that
the pool, right? You
But
know.
that was not tied to phase 1. The only thing that's still out on phase 1 is the arms, the security arms.
I think it may be, but it's either way. That was tied to 7 building permits being issued in phase 1, and then the next one was issuances of COs for both clubhouses and gatehouses tied to the release of 10 building permits in phase 1. So my question is, does the 25, I guess it does, is what you're saying, is it would conclude the building permits required in phase 1 and then flow over into phase 7?
Well, we're okay in phase 1. We're okay. I mean that's done. It's only a few permits missing, which is dependent on the arms, which should be done this week. But we're talking strictly about phase 7, which is over 50 lots, and we can't get any permits until the entire everything is done. That was Steve was saying. We have a bond for $2.5 million, we just renewed it for another year. So there is security for that. So we're asking if we can go ahead in phase 7, get permits so we can continue building and sell, because it's on a standstill right now.
And to make it clear, that's phase 7.
Okay, so it's basically like dissolving all of those prior conditions from that prior phase plan approval and saying the building inspector would essentially be able to issue building permits at will in either phase.
Go ahead.
All right, so
It's strictly right now. It's only phase 7, dependent on everything is done in the pool and the rec house and all that. So it's strictly phase 7. It's not in stages. It says that no permit should be issued in phase 7 until all that is done.
Yes, and I think the way it was structured that way, though, is because it was assumed that you would finish out phase 1 and then proceed to phase 7.
Correct.
But if again, I think there were a lot of conditions tied to.
In phase 1, right?
Yeah, so I guess I'm sort of still a little bit confused about, do those conditions still remain, and now you're just looking to strike?
Yeah, because in phase 1, we don't own any lots anymore.
I see.
The few
Okay.
lots that is not built is owned by individual people that are not building right now.
Okay.
So the only thing we own is only phase 7.
Interesting, okay.
So the ask is based on the current condition now, of the clubhouse.
Correct, and
that-
Basheva
To
was-
open up Phase 7 to construction.
Right, and Basheva was telling me that there have been inspections.
Yeah.
Why don't you say which
Sheva
ones?
the fire inspection was just complete, the fire sprinkler, that was just done. And the insulation was done a couple weeks ago. So all that was complete.
Okay, because I asked the building inspector this morning, and he told me it hasn't been. When I looked in the window today, I saw studs and no insulation. I wasn't trespassing. We have authorization to inspect the property.
So, but it was, the foam insulation was done, and the fire and sprinkler inspection was completed.
I mean, I'll follow back up with John in the morning and see where the breakdown.
I'll put it this way, I don't know that insulation, one way or the other, makes a huge difference. The project is moving forward, there's no doubt about that.
And it's 50 lots in 7?
Yeah. I don't think at the end of the day, as a practical matter, that there'll be building permits for 50 lots tomorrow. But the idea of being able to not have the ability of the building and of the property owner to be able to get any building permits, it's just at a standstill.
Again, I'm asking, are we allowed to do that? I don't know.
We've done this before where we.
Can?
That's how we got to where we are today, where we conditioned certain requirements being met, and holding building permits or COs back until those conditions were met. So this would be another modification to those conditions.
That's right, right.
Well, that's what that's.
10, and then we'll see
So,
what the next thing is.
the conundrum I'm in right now is I have a story. The building inspector told me one thing, and I'm not saying I don't believe you, Basheva. I'm going by what John told me this morning when I asked him the condition of the clubhouse. So, and this is not I don't believe what you're telling me. It's just I have to go by.
I think there's a misunderstanding. She's talking foam installation, which is in the roof.
In the yeah. But the
Right, not
first and
the-
second floor looked like it's still open.
Right, not the wall,
Not the wall.
not the wall insulation.
Okay.
We're pending some very, just a little bit close to the HVAC, but otherwise all that's complete before they can actually close it up. But the inspections are scheduled whenever it's needed.
Okay.
Like I said, we just finished the fire sprinkler inspection, that was just.
And Chris, just to answer your question, because the condition was imposed by the planning board has the power to modify the condition.
If Lino tells me that, I believe.
Here's my issue here, because again, I haven't seen any of this, because again, I'm new to this party, as the board
Come on,
knows.
this project's only been going on for like 20 years. I don't understand how you don't not up to speed on it yet.
Really, So, I hear what you're saying, but again, from my standpoint, just hearing this now, again, hearing this for the first time, it sounds like whatever conditions were imposed in phase 1 or whatever phase it was, you're looking to basically undo so that they can proceed with 50 units or 50 permits, if you will, for was it phase 7?
Yeah, it's the last phase.
The last phase. So that's what I'm hearing, but from my standpoint, I'm at a disadvantage because I don't know what those conditions were in the first
Right.
phase that would allow you to get to this point.
Sure, I'll help you with that. Basically, what it was.
Send me that. That'd be great.
No, and it's fair. I want you to get up to speed. And this is not inappropriate. This is a very big project that went on for a very long time that has a very tough history, especially in its early days. The original developer that developed this project, let's just say politely, did not have the best reputation in the village and the town because, quite frankly, a lot of things were screwed up. Over time, there came to be a sense on the planning board that there had to be real controls that were put in because this developer couldn't be trusted, quite frankly, in order to do things properly. Joseph came in and bought the whole thing out, and the experience has been, anybody will tell you, has been quite different since then. Conditions have been upheld, the property owner has been responsible, and it's frankly turned from what had been a nightmare to something that has been a very good working relationship. I wouldn't be standing in front of you asking if I didn't feel that there was an appropriate basis that had been built up of a good track record over a significant period of time. So what you have now is a condition that was imposed some years ago, partly because of that history, partly because also It was this board's belief, quite rightly, that the community center hadn't been built early enough in this project, given the number of people that were there in the development. And so, in order to make sure that that happened, one of the things was, okay, you want to complete this project, Phase 7, you better complete this first. I think, my own opinion, 20/20 hindsight, maybe it was a little bit too far in the direction of you can't get a single permit, but all right, you know what, I understood where the board was coming from. But where we are today now, with a substantial amount of the work having been done, with the full bonding in place for the entirety of the work, there really isn't the same basis for protecting the public interest that's there that justifies saying, no, you can't build anything until this thing is completed. That's where we're coming from.
How far away are you from finishing this?
Oh, that's not a question I can answer. It's a technical question. How far away are we from finishing it? We're waiting in part for the approval. That's.
Well, the building is almost done, but everything else is waiting for this previous approval, so we can build a.
On the site issues.
Exactly.
Right.
Once
So
that's done.
So the park, the pool, and the thing that Joseph is saying is, the building is moving forward, but the rest of the site stuff, the pool and so forth, which won't be usable till the spring anyway, but that stuff is dependent upon the board acting on the request that's here before you tonight.
Because the reason I'm asking is just continue down this road. What I'm really asking is, are you a year out? Are you 2 years out?
No, I don't think, no, not anywhere close to that, no. What do you think, Joseph? With certainly less than a year.
Well, let's, things haven't exactly moved very lightning fast. I mean,
No,
think of it, the security gate just went in because we reminded of you last time you were here, so.
There are certainly things that have been moved along at the board's desire to see things happen.
If I may say, even the security, we were in front of the board to change it to a visual monitoring.
Right.
That took months and months, so.
But-
That got
But that was, but in fairness, Joseph, that was partly because of pushing of the board. I know where you're coming from. Yeah. Okay. I think that the key is, there's nothing too much left to push. And I don't think that the prohibition on getting building permits is going to facilitate the moving of it forward in any more rapid rate.
And the reason I'm asking you guys, is just if you release 10, you're not going to build more than 10 houses in a year, so it could be simultaneous for the other 40. That's what in my head, that's where I'm going.
Well, my head is, and again, I want Lino to be up to speed, so I don't want to box us into a corner or anything yet.
Yeah, and I hear what you're saying, and I get it, because I've been at your side of the podium so many a time, so I understand it. I'm just, from my standpoint, it'd be nice for me to understand exactly, okay, so you had a phase 1, right? So now you can't go forward to phase 7 without complying, without, basically closing out some conditions, whether it's the clubhouse, pool. Again, we're talking about, sounds like the clubhouse. And that $2 million, the bond that you're talking about, is that just for the clubhouse itself?
Yeah, it's for that, it's for these improvements.
But just the clubhouse, or does it affect other improvements as well?
All of these approvals that are lumped together, that is the pool, the clubhouse, playing field, this whole group is fully bonded.
So that $2 million covers those specific improvements?
That's right.
Me personally, I like to review that and just see where this is at. I mean, again, I know it's additional time, but I'd like to see also too, specifically maybe from Steve, if you haven't already done so, because I haven't seen it, but either in writing exactly what we're asking this for, what conditions we're asking to be lifted and basically stricken from your prior approval.
Is there any way to at least approve the clubhouse without touching the other conditions?
That's your call. I mean, it's in your
This
your
way the
resolution.
clubhouse can move forward, and then the lawyers have time to look at the other aspects of it. Or would you rather wait until Lino looks